if they are not in the NCAA tournament. This is the first of a home-and-home between these two over the next 2 years, and Comer and the Eagles start out with the ball. Bobcats man-to-man, and Moeller throws it out of bounds.
A little miscue there. You know, the Bobcats had one of the great college players, NBA Pacer players. Clark Kellogg's son was there, leading three-point scorer. Just graduated last year from Ohio University.
He was part of that team that went to the Sweet 16 and took North Carolina to overtime in the Sweet 16. Bean Willis drives by Comer and sets up Endor for a dunk at Dunk City. Excuse me, that was Montpremier. My bad, Montpremier, number 4. Not Endor, number 5. Montpremier with the dunk here at Dunk City.
Montpremier looked like he was climbing a mountain on that one.
Jones sealed off baseline, 15 seconds to shoot. Jones arguing that it was deflected, but he just threw that out of bounds. So back-to-back turnovers for the Eagles to start this game.
Well, see, you don't need spectacular passes. Just do the simple. Get it to the guy in the white jersey or the green jersey if you're with Ohio U.
FGCU pressed to overtime Monday night here at Alico Arena before surviving the Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara. Ohio comes in a little more rested, having played just one game late last week at home against App State. Deep three off the mark by Stevie Taylor. Quickly the other way, Thompson thought about a three. Bernard really yet to get going offensively. He'll fire that one way off the mark. However, Morant bails him out on the glass. So the offensive rebound and put back, and we're tied.
You know, once again, David, this game with these leapers will be played above the rim.
The Taylors play catch. This is Ryan Taylor, the freshman. Step back three. Moeller and Morant knock it out of bounds. Joe Dooley in his second year with the Eagles. 22 wins a year ago. Looking to get the Eagles off to their first 3-0 start in 9 seasons. Bobcats inbound. We've played 2 minutes. Give and go. Montpremier rejected by Morant.
Oh, Morant can play, David.
Comer looking to run. Thompson for 3.
Well, you're right, David. His stroke's been a little off, but this might be the night.
Well, and he missed his first shot badly, but Jay Webb, as you've talked about over the years, shooters keep shooting. Montpremier with the drive and draws the foul.
Now, see, when you look at the scouting report, Montpremier, you got to make him go left. So you got to play him on that right side.
Foul was on Eric Moeller. First foul of the game. Montpremier was a 46% free throw shooter in his career. He's a sophomore, so that was last year. He's a sophomore out of Miami. You know, you're always into an all-name team. I mean, Wadley,
yeah.
Come on, that's got to.
Oh.
I mean, that falls right past honorable mention.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to make one of the teams, doesn't it?
He's first team.
And he gets one of 2. And it's a 5-3 game. As Comer. Thompson keeps firing. Morant tried to keep it alive, but good strong rebound by Ryan Taylor for the Bobcats.
Morant is so active on the boards, David.
Very athletic. And an offensive foul on the big fella, Endor. Bit of a moving screen, and he caught Bernard Thompson up high. The first-year head coach of the Ohio Bobcats is Saul Phillips. He spent the last 7 years at North Dakota State and won a tournament game with the Bison last year, knocking off Oklahoma in overtime. This is not Sal's first trip to Southwest Florida and Alico Arena. He came here as an assistant with Tim Miles in North Dakota State nearly a decade ago. And that Bison team, when they were D2, beat FGCU when they were D2. And now he's here as a head coach in his first year with the Bobcats. Really nice guy and a terrific coach.
Had a great conversation with him and his coaching staff today.
Comer to Hicks, who has it rejected. Endor with a second follow. Comer, relentless to Thompson for three. Endor knocks it away. Taylor tries to save it, and he does. Another block by Montpelier. Not to be denied is FGCU.
Oh, my Lord, David, who opened up the block party down underneath that hoop?
Between Endor and Montpelier. 4 attempts at it for FGCU until they scored. Montpelier misses, and a foul on the rebound. Marquette and Aurelio providing rebounding and energy for the Eagles, once again off the bench.
David, we've seen some athletes this week, haven't we?
Well, the level of athleticism on this FGCU team is unmatched. And the Gauchos out of the Big West and the Bobcats here for the MAC are NCAA tournament worthy as well. So Comer double team for a moment. Thompson. Norelia with the left hand. Good box out.
Great box out there by Wadley. Montpelier.
Taylor. Endor is fouled. And that's a foul you don't want to commit when you're big, 18 feet away from the basket. First on, Norelia. Second team foul. So off to a good, energetic start are the Eagles, leading the Bobcats by 4. Eagles attacking the rim, and Ohio saying no.
No.
Endor 1, Endor 2. Comer, he's going to keep attacking, and off the Thompson miss. Tipped out not once, but then Montpelier. But the Eagles were not to be denied. Pretty good sequence for the first few minutes of the game, huh?
That was a great sequence. And like you said here on Endor, you don't want to foul a 6'9" guy shooting jump shots. Now, no, he has the ability to make it, but let him make those shots.
He's a 73% free throw shooter in his career. And he makes them both. Bobcats within 2. It'll be interesting to see in the latter moments of this game whether or not the Eagles have any fatigue. Having played 48 hours ago, a very hard-fought game against the Gauchos. Norelia in the lane with the left hand.
Now, see, there's an advantage of that left hand because most people are looking for guys to shoot off the other side. But a nice little step back.
Eagles match their biggest lead. Ryan Taylor. Strong drive on the baseline. Mike Laster with a quick first step. First bench points of the game for the Bobcats. Comer and a tie-up. Possession arrow with the Bobcats.
Well, I can tell you, against this team with their athleticism and hands, that's not going to work, trying to curl down the middle.
Comer will check out. Christian Terrell checks in for Brett Comer. Ryan Green, Nate Hicks also checking into the game. Bernard Thompson, the only starter on the floor right now for FGCU. Willis tried to feed it down low, and well, Antonio Campbell was looking for it in the lane, and Willis was trying to throw it to the block.
Plus Nate Hicks, good defense, held him out.
Terrell to Bernard, the cutter, and he was tripped, which caused him to fall into the lane. Foul on Laster. Third team foul on the Bobcats. Mentioned Saul Phillips is a really nice, classy man and a good guy. We had a stirring rendition of the national anthem, and he made sure to walk on over from his position on the bench and congratulate. And a moving pick and an offensive foul called. And if it's on Norelli, and it is, that's 2 on Marchetti. And Saul Phillips broke away from the bench and came over to the young lady and said, I just wanted to shake your hand and tell you that's one of the best anthems I've heard in a very long time.
Well, Beverly Gare is an outstanding young lady on our campus and obviously has a great voice.
Ryan Taylor for the Bobcats to tie. Terrell with the rebound. Thompson slashing.
He avoided the block by Endor.
Well, Thompson looks like a different player offensively tonight than he's been in the first 2 games. More aggressive and shooting more and off to a good start. Endor bodied up by Morant, and a foul called on Demetrius. And Joe Dooley arguing that he thought Endor was traveling and turning the ball over.
Well, not only traveling, Dave, what he's saying is that he was initiating the contact.
So Endor will check out for the first time.
See, if your hands are up and you are standing there, the man cannot bump into you.
Well, 4 fouls on FGCU, and they're all on their bigs. Moeller and Morant with 1 each, and Norelli on the bench with 2. So nice break of the double team. Taylor gets it back. So even though Endor only has 2 free throws, between Endor and Montpremier, they've got the Eagles in a bit of foul trouble. 3 ball, rolls around, can't go. Montpremier down low. In the lane, rejected. Who's got it? It's Terrell of FGCU. Knocked away and comes crashing into the scorer's table. We think everybody's okay.
Holy Samoa.
But that was Stevie Taylor.
Let me tell you, you gotta love the accent reader.
We're wondering what kind of effort we're going to have tonight from both teams. And here comes Stevie Taylor flying into the Bobcats broadcast booth.
I'm telling you.
And right past some of the support staff here at FGCU. A pretty entertaining first 6:53. Kyrie Harley, number 11, grabbed an offensive rebound, had a turnaround jumper, and it was blocked. And Saul Phillips was arguing that was goaltending for the Bobcats. So both head coaches working the officials a bit in the last sequence.
Oh, got to be careful there.
Nearly a moving screen. Homer alley-oop. Morant misses the dunk.
You can't miss those.
Well, it was a little far away from the basket. He wasn't able to get right next to the rim. Taylor with the one-hander, rejected by Moeller. Jones to Comer. Back to Jones for 3. He could not hit that shot a year ago for the first 75% of the season.
Well, it's nice to see young men and young ladies, when they work on their stuff over the summer, come back in their local gyms and improve.
And it's been a remarkable transformation for Jamel Jones, because first Joe Dooley said to him, listen, I want you down on the block. Campbell for 3, and he airballs it, but Montpremier tries to bail him out. And the Bobcats throw it away, and we've got a timeout. We come back, we'll talk more about Jamel Jones and the Eagles. Off to a good start, doubling up the Bobcats in the early going.
Shooting as cold as the weather in the northern part of Ohio. 2 for 10 from the field, 0 for 5 from the 3. 75% from the free throw line. The Eagles 50% from the field and 50% from the three-point line.
Bobcats right now with more turnovers and made field goals, and That's never a good thing.
No.
So Brett Comer back in the game. Moeller. Here's Thompson, who's off to a good start with 7 points. Make it 9. Bernard, who's averaging just 10 points in his first 2 games, a career 15-point-a-game scorer. Endor with a step-back 3.
See, I could live with Endor taking those shots.
Thompson, Morant down low. Back to Bernard, who fakes the 3. Elbow jumper. And that's his shot.
He's feeling it, isn't it?
That's his shot. He loves the mid-range jumper. A dying art.
Yes, it is.
And it's Bernard's bread and butter. Eagles up 11 against the Bobcats. Just 9 minutes gone by. Willis nearly traveled. Mike Laster. Ryan Taylor with 21 in his collegiate debut. Bernard trying to guard him. Laster airballs a 3. Jones to Comer. Brett feeds Bernard another 3. And Saul Phillips may need a timeout. And he takes one. Bernard Thompson trying to single-handedly shoot the Bobcats back to Athens, Ohio. 14 points in less than 10 minutes for the senior, an all-time leading scorer.
Well, David, he's the preseason player of the year in the ASUN, and he is showing why the other coaches and people picked him.
And Brett Comer got the assist on that basket, and that's at least his 3rd. So Comer, we're finding out now whether or not Brett is now tied for or the all-time leader in assists in ASUN history. But there's Bernard's final 3. He's done it inside, mid-range, and outside. The Bobcats have 7. The rest of the Eagles have 7, and Bernard Thompson has 14.
Well, this is where you see the maturity of Brett Comer.
And Brett Comer has, in fact, set the new Atlantic Sun Conference all-time assists record. And if he stays healthy with 30-plus games left on the schedule in this season, he could set the record by around 300 assists. Comer in traffic for 3. Endor the rebound. Here comes Bean Willis. He's going to shoot a 3. Montpremier, the nice follow. Quick ups for Wadley Montpremier. He's got 5 of the Bobcats' 9.
You know, David, there are leapers and then there are quick leapers. He is a leaper and also a quick leaper.
And his toes barely hit the ground, and he was back up and able to avoid the block. Thompson's feeling it, but that was a rushed shot. Logan Hovey in the game for the first time. Comes up with a loose ball. We have a stoppage. Something happened. Bernard Thompson was knocked out of bounds, and for some reason, even though he didn't come back in and touch the ball, Thompson, unless the official ruled there that he touched it out of bounds, and that's what he must have ruled, that Bernard touched it out of bounds. Joe Dooley arguing that he was pushed out of bounds, so it should have been allowed to continue anyway. And there's a much-needed 3-ball for Willis.
There was some kind of verbal exchange with the manager at the end of the bench there, David.
But Bean Willis with a big shot for the Bobcats, little 5-point spurt, and Joe Dooley takes a quick timeout as if to say, okay, guys, now we gotta hunker down. They're not gonna go away. They're a good team. Intense start to this one. It's been all Eagles. And the Bobcats may be finding themselves. See Willis, senior, talking with Ryan Taylor, the freshman. Taylor yet to get untracked here tonight. After a 21-point collegiate debut against App State, he's yet to score in the first nearly 11 minutes of this one. But number 10 for FGCU is Logan Hovey, a heralded recruit 2 classes ago. Missed all of last season with a foot injury and missed the first 2 games of this season with a foot injury. Jones, 15-footer, no. Hicks tips it up, but the Bobcats come away with it. It's that man Laster to Willis. It calls out a play, and the Eagles seem to think they know what it is. Willis with Comer in his face, airballs it. Comer sees an opening, and he draws the foul on Willis. First on Bean Willis. 14th foul on the Bobcats.
Looks like Brett's got a little hitch in his giddy up there.
Kind of sprained an ankle there driving baseline. Comer and Jones will check out. Terrell checks in and fires up a 3.
I'll tell you, nice stroke by the youngster.
The freshman out of Jacksonville with the 3 ball. And the Eagles back up by double figures. Endor. And he sticks a forearm right in Hovey's face, but Hicks knocks it away, and Terrell comes up with it.
Terrell's a tough hombre.
Logan Hovey, a freshman, redshirt out of Orlando. Terrell, who has the ball right now, is a true freshman out of Jacksonville. Green has it rejected from behind by Laster, and the Bobcats outrunning. Laster sets up Taylor for 3. Can't get it to go. You could tell Laster was trying to get Ryan Taylor a good look. They want to get him going. They need to get him going.
The one thing Green has to learn, you cannot go into the trees.
Bernard Taylor can shoot over the trees using his quickness to get the step. 16 for Bernard Thompson in the first 12-plus minutes of this game. Taylor penetrates in the lane, splits 2 defenders, ball loose, however. Fought for, who's got it? Thompson and Campbell with the tie-up.
Possession of Eagles.
I don't know whether or not Thompson grabbed it and called timeout, or they ruled the jump ball to FGCU, but either way, it'll be FGCU basketball when we come back. Eagles jumped out to an early lead behind Bernard Thompson, and then freshman Christian Terrell with a 3. The officials ruled that Bernard Thompson had in fact gained possession of the basketball, and there was a timeout call. So Eagles basketball, but it did cost them a timeout. A little bit of foul trouble for FGCU's bigs, but otherwise, the Eagles have picked up where they left off in overtime on Monday, playing excellent basketball.
Well, David, on both ends, both the Eagles and the Bobcats, you are seeing when the ball hits the floor, there are bodies everywhere, which are keeping the managers and keeping this floor looking very, very pristine.
Comer and Thompson on the bench. As it's Green, down low to Moeller. Moeller forces one up, no. Morant tried to follow, and he picks up the second foul on Endor.
Now that's a big foul, Dave, with 6:52 to go in the first half.
So now we'll have the media timeout. Eagles by 14, as Morant will be at the free throw line when we come back. Blew out, and for the most part, the fans have delivered. Eagles jumped out to an early lead. Bernard Thompson got red hot to stretch it to double figures. That's Demetrius Morant, a sophomore who transferred into the program this season from UNLV. Hitting the first free throw. And he gives FGCU their biggest lead of the night.
Well, Dave, they're going to go the last 7 minutes or 6:50 without Endor.
Well, we'll see about that. You know, down 16. Can Saul Phillips, if FGCU keeps stretching the lead, can he keep his big fella on the bench? Taylor with a step back, but Stevie can't get it to go. And they're going to say last touch by Ohio, so Eagle ball.
Dave, for young players watching the game, don't take that first pump fake when the guy is 18 feet from the basket. Keep your hands up and your feet set.
Brian Green Jr., who sat out last year after transferring in from Auburn. Jamel Jones. Moeller with 3. How about that?
Now, wait a minute. You got your 6'11" center shooting threes, David.
Well, he is skilled. He was originally recruited to go to Missouri. Ended up relocating in the Gainesville, Ocala area at the College of Central Florida. That's where he spent last season. Campbell in the lane. Jump hook is short. Jones looks to run 3-on-2. Bounce pass to Green. The Eagles clicking on all cylinders. Leading the Bobcats by 21. Impressive performance. Taylor is sealed off along the baseline. Morant called for the foul. That was a good call.
And I got to agree with you, David.
Taylor, his head collided into Demetrius Morant's midsection. We don't know if he hit his hip bone or not.
He's a tough hombre.
Well, but Morant's 6'9" and close to 250. And Stevie Taylor's 5'10" and $174.
Yeah, you ain't going to win that collision, are you?
It's what we call a sudden stop, Jay Webb.
Yes, it is.
Stevie's walking to the bench, shaking his head, going to try to walk it off or shake it off. Ryan Taylor inbounds, Willis for 3, and the Bobcats have only made 1 on the night. Thompson back in the game, as is Comer. And Bernard right now pulls up. Strong rebound by Montpelier.
Montpelier moved Hovey around there. Hovey's a big body, 6'7".
Well, Bernard missed his first shot, then hit 7 of the next 9 before missing that one. Campbell, nice jump hook in the lane for Antonio Campbell's first points. He had 11 points for the Bobcats in their season opening win. Jones with the baseline pull up.
Boy, he has improved so much. I can't say it enough.
Quick first step. He's always had the athleticism. Early last season, Joe Dooley said, tell you what, I like you more down low than I do on the wing. And then he got his confidence down low, and he slowly started moving his game further and further out. And this season worked on that jump shot. And you can see the early dividends. Comer goes behind the back. Hovey for 3. Campbell the rebound. Willis in transition. Comer shuts him down. FGCU by 21.
Did not see this one coming.
I don't think the Eagles nor Bobcats saw this first half coming. Hovey got a hand on the ball, but I believe he's going to get called for the foul. First foul on Logan Hovey. His first 16 foul on the Eagles. Timeout on the floor. It's been all FGCU.
This ball game, and I think OU has said, hey, we got to roll the dice and try to close this gap with the Eagles, and you got to have your best player on the floor to do that.
Well, Saul Phillips thinking if we don't cut 21 down to 14, 15, or 16, probably doesn't matter saving that extra foul for the second half.
That's right.
There's Endor with Jones on him. He drives right by him and draws a foul. That was a hard foul.
That looked like the old days of ain't no layups here.
Moeller gets called for the foul. His second. So Morant, Norelia, and Moeller, the three bigs, if you will. 3 of the 4, along with Nate Hicks. They all have 2 fouls. Endor still looking for his first bucket. As the Bobcats are shooting just 20% so far in this game. 20-point game. Brett Comer hounded in the backcourt.
So much for the one-touch rule.
Game being officiated a little differently than Monday night.
See, there he was. See, you're allowed one touch, but that one was the 6th that they called.
Well, I think what Brett Comer was saying as well, going, you know, I was kind of wondering when you were going to blow the whistle. The official looked at him and said, "You don't look any worse for the wear. You're okay." Thompson, finger roll.
Oh, he's feeling it tonight, isn't he?
18 points for Bernard Thompson. As we near 3 minutes to go first half. Think about that. He's outscored nearly both teams tonight. He's outscored Ohio, and the rest of his FGCU teammates only have 19. Remarkable performance. Campbell drives right by Hicks, who then rejects him from behind. Green, stutter step, penetration for 2.
He didn't look like a junior there, did he?
Quick 3 the other way, short by Willis. Homer knocks it away. Green, 3-on-1. No look to Thompson, who gets it back to Green. And the Eagles just outnumbered the Bobcats. And Saul Phillips has to be unhappy about that, saying, where was the hustle getting back on defense? Biggest lead of the game for FGCU. We said this is the most talented, deepest, athletic team FGCU has ever had, and all of their talents and depth and athleticism have been on display here in the first half against Ohio. Here's Brian Green Jr., the stutter step. And then he helped lead a 3-on-1 next time down. And Bernard could have finished and instead got it back to Green as if to say, you know, I've already had a night's worth of points. Here you go.
Here you go. Let me throw you a bone.
Well, a crucial 2:22 and counting here for the Bobcats.
They've got it.
Endor has it knocked away by Green. This is Joe Dooley's influence on this team. They are a much better defensive team than they were at the start of last season, and he demands it.
If you have been to his practices, he is a task master.
Endor showing his gifts and picking up the foul on Jamel Jones. Endor 3 of 4 for the line tonight. Had 12 points, 10 rebounds in the opening win against App State. All 4 of his points tonight from the free throw line. Under 2 minutes to go first half. Jones, the only starter on the floor for the Eagles. It's Armand Schoon who had the ball there momentarily, checks into the game. There's Green. Schoon feeding Nate Hicks down low. Endor came over to affect the shot. Coming the other way, and Schoon's going to get called for the foul.
See, So Nate's got to take that ball with authority to the hole, so you can't go pity pat against men like Endor.
Well, I'll defend him a little bit there. I thought he went strong, and the officials just allowed Endor to get away with a little contact there. Nate's probably still a little fatigued from Monday. He was only medically cleared to play.
Right.
As Stevie Taylor hits the front end of the 1-1, his first point of the night. He was only medically cleared to play over the weekend. Sat out the opener on Saturday and then ended up playing 25 minutes against Alan Williams, who may end up getting a shot in the NBA.
Well, he's going to get a shot.
Eagles by 23. Jones on the block. Bodies up Endor.
Whoa, what a nice move.
He took his shoulder and planted it right in Endor and backed him underneath the basket and then floated one over him and in.
Oh, no.
A minute to go in the half or thereabouts. Blocked out of bounds.
I mean, the one thing, Endor to go to the next level, he's going to have to gain a few LBs.
Taylor, inbounds to Taylor. No relation. Stevie with it. Back to Endor. Endor tried to dunk it over Nate Hicks, and no foul called. The officials ruling that Endor just missed it. Well, turnabout's fair play.
Well, I think he can dunk.
They let Endor challenge Hicks on the other end and didn't call anything. Ball knocked away from Terrell and stolen. Bobcats with a chance to run. Taylor has it rejected by Schoon, but first a foul on Terrell.
I'll tell you what, Taylor has got some serious dog in him. He has no fear.
And Taylor's going to go back to the line and shoot two. Nate Hicks checks out of the game. Marcus Blake.
A Marcus Blake sighting.
Checks in.
A fan favorite here, David.
And Marcus goes all the way back. He is the last player to be associated with all three coaches in FGCU history. He didn't play for the Eagles' first coach, Dave Balsa. And then he's been a preferred walk-on for both Andy Enfield and here Joe Dooley.
Well, what a class act. He works hard, knows his role.
Taylor's two free throws makes it a 23-point game. About a 2.5-second difference between the game and shot clock. Schoon with it far side. So the Eagles burn some clock, and now Green will pull up for the jumper.
David, if Green plays like this, what a nice person to be able to bring in and relieve Comer.
Campbell for three at the buzzer. It's short. And as impressive a display of basketball as FGCU has had here at Alico Arena in quite some time. All Eagles, and they settle on a 25-point halftime lead. Jamel Jones and company dominating the Bobcats from Ohio. Get him an open look. Get him in this game.
Well, the first 5 minutes will set the tempo of this game, David.
Both teams will move towards their respective benches in the second half. Comer to Thompson. They're going to feed Morant down low. Endor avoids his third foul, and Montpremier comes away with it. FGCU wanted to challenge the big fella. He withstood it defensively. That's Stevie Taylor with it. That's Ryan Taylor. Scoreless in the first half. Down low, Endor, 12 seconds to shoot. He wants to clear out, take on Morant. Over him and Moeller. Maurice Endor, first bucket of the game to go with 4 free throws. And a good first minute for Ohio. Comer. Moeller, he's hit one already. Didn't get that one to go. Here's Willis in transition. Willis to Taylor. Taylor in the lane, floater, can't get it to go, but draws the foul.
Here's the one thing you don't want, David. Quick shots. Run your offense, get the flow going. And you've got the big man with 2 fouls. Pound it inside, make him guard somebody.
Well, 2 things happen on that play, and you can see it in the background. Brett Comer is limping. He sprained his ankle, and Jamel Jones is actually helping him get to the bench. So Comer, who tweaked his ankle in the first half. And they're challenging the shot underneath, and he tweaked it some more. Foul was on Eric Moeller, and that's his 3rd. So minute 14 into the second half, Eric will check out, and Mark-Eddie Norelia will check in. So Brian Green Jr. for Comer due to the ankle injury, and Norelia for Moeller because of foul trouble. Stevie Taylor hits 1 of 2. Eagles still lead by 22. Green Jr. Jones down low to Morant. This time on Montpremier. Alley-oop. The attempt anticipated by Endor. Bobcats looking to run 4-on-3. Nice pass down low, Endor. And Ohio scored the first 5 points of the second half, and Joe Dooley says enough of that.
That's a good timeout.
Well, Ohio with a perfect first 110 seconds of this half on both ends of the floor, and they've cut 25-point deficit down to 20.
Well, first of all,
the Eagles champions wear as they're lifting their trophies. ASunStore.com, offering a wide variety of clothing items for men, women, and children. All you have to do is visit ASunStore.com today. Ohio, after scoring the first 5 points of the second half. Eagles take a timeout. Brian Green Jr. in the game because Brett Comer has tweaked an ankle injury. And he's on the bench. Nearly a steal. In fact, it is one by Willis. Willis, as Green challenges, bucket and the foul.
Well, so Green's got to play smarter. He's coming out right now. Gives up the steal and then makes what is not a very smart foul.
He tried to challenge it and avoid it at the same time. But Alvarez Bean Willis, a 5'11 senior, who didn't play in the opener against App State. And now he's got 5 points, looking for a 6th. And we said that Saul Phillips, I mean, it was predictable that he's going to challenge his team in the locker room. Hey, show me what you've got. And they're showing them, hey, we've got fight, if nothing else, and a foul.
Well, see, that's not a smart foul there at all. Not a smart foul.
Well, this is, nightmare is too strong a word, but this is the one situation coming into the season, despite how deep FGCU is. The one little question mark about this team was, what if they had to play without Comer for any length of time in a game or a season?
Well, we're going to find out here.
Brian Green Jr. faltered. And so now Christian Terrell is going to get his chance running the show. Down low, Norelia with the left hand. Tipped out. That's the Bobcats.
3 minutes and the Eagles haven't scored.
Ohio on an 8-0 run, and Ryan Taylor tries to get his first points. Bernard looks to run 3-on-2. Thompson crosses over twice and scores it with the left hand.
You see, that's how you break a scoring drought. Get the ball to Thompson.
Well, Ryan Taylor tried to attack that way on the one end for Ohio, and Bernard Thompson showed the freshman how it's done. 20 for the senior. Morant knocks it out of bounds.
Oh, the big man gave Taylor a look like, get it to me, big. Get me the ball.
A couple of FGCU bigs in foul trouble. Comer on the bench with his turned ankle. There's an opening here for Ohio, even though it's a big deficit. Taylor for three. Way off the mark, but a foul on the rebound. I believe it's on FGCU.
On Morant.
And that's the third on Demetrius Morant. So Moeller and Morant each with 3 fouls. Morant comes out and Nate Hicks checks in. And Comer on the bench with the sprained ankle. Eagles led by 25 at the break. Bobcats have outscored them 8-2 here in the opening stretch of the second half. Ryan Taylor, Mom Premier, foul on the drive before the shot.
That's on Hicks.
And just like that, that is 4 team fouls on the Eagles. Ryan Green Jr. will check in for Jamel Jones. So Taylor gets it down low. Endor got position on Norelia.
See, once again, I just hate that man-to-man inbounds where the guy can just get the swirl and go for the basket.
Well, Endor, who did not score a bucket in the first half, has 3 in the opening 4 minutes of the second half. He's got 10 points in the game. Bobcats within 17, the closest they've been in quite some time. Foul line jumper, a lot of contact, no call. Norelia saves it to Green. 10 seconds for the Eagles to shoot, and now they turn it over. And Joe Dooley arguing that Terrell was fouled on the jump shot. And it'll be a timeout on the floor. So the Eagles in a bit of disarray here to start the second half, and the Bobcats have cut into the 25-point lead, 47-30. For the Eagles, 10-2 during the opening stretch here in the second half. And Jay Webb, it's been very simple. They've gone to their best players, and they're delivering.
Well, we said coming out of the break that you got to get the ball to Endor and then getting Taylor off the snide. But Eagles lose Comer, and right now there's no fluidity to this offense.
Endor had just 4 free throws in the first half, 3 buckets here early in the second half. And as we mentioned, if Ryan Taylor gets going for Ohio, he's the outside part of their game, then Bobcats could make this very interesting.
Well, David, you said this before. Great players may be slow in the first half, but cream always rises to the top.
Very rarely does a scorer have 2 bad halves.
That's right.
Now Ryan Taylor is a freshman. And this is just a second collegiate game. Endor down low to Campbell. 12-2 run for the Bobcats in the first 4.5 minutes of the second half. You wonder, where's Brett Comer? He's on the bench with an ankle injury.
Oh, that's a 3rd foul on Endor.
Yes, it is. Head coach Saul Phillips for Ohio going to have to weigh when to take Endor out here in the early part of the second half. He's playing so well right now, he's going to roll the dice a little bit. And Endor's Norelia, see, he tried to avoid that foul, and he did, and now here comes Taylor the other way. Ryan Taylor, fade away. And let's see if that gets him going, the freshman's first bucket. 14-2 is the Bobcats run to start the second half. And Brett Comer goes limping to the scorer's table, but Joe Dooley says, I need you, senior co-captain. Norelia misses badly with the left hand. Comer in obvious pain here at the scorer's table. This will be interesting to see just how much he's got in him. Endor blocked by Hicks, and they're going to call a jump ball.
Yes. Possession arrow goes to the Bobcats.
Nate Hicks meeting the challenge inside of Maurice Endor, not once but twice. But the arrow going with the Bobcats. Demetrius Morant and Brett Comer both check back into the game. Morant with 3 fouls, Comer with a bad ankle. Willis for 3 from the corner, no. Comer couldn't even get up for that rebound, but Morant bails him out with the block. Comer goes limping up the floor. So Thompson's going to take over. Comer, if he was healthy, he would have drove, but instead he dishes, and Norelia says, no, I'll take it. And Comer really hobbling down the floor. You would think Ohio would just look for his man and give him the ball. Brett can barely run defensively. I'm surprised Willis just didn't take him off the dribble. 3 ball straight away by Taylor, in and out. And look at that hitch in his giddy up for Brett Comer. And yet he still crosses over and drives. Kicks it out, Thompson. He is guts personified. Fearless on Monday night against the Gauchos. And here, when the Eagles were falling apart, he's inserted back into the lineup. Look at him. He needs help getting back to the bench.
I mean, is this Willis Reed reincarnated?
Well, that was Game 7 of the finals. Let's not get carried away. But, I mean, Joe Dooley put both Brian Green Jr. and Christian Terrell out there and said, hey, Comer's hurt. Give me some good point guard play. And the team just wasn't getting it done offensively. Comer with the penetration, draws the defender over, kicks it out, and look at him, hobbling, going back down the other way. And literally, Demetrius Morant had to meet him in the backcourt, and Comer leaned on him to help get to the bench.
This is amazing.
This is impressive. This really is. Played arguably the best game of his college career Monday night. 28 points, 11 assists in the overtime win. And Morant just got called, I believe, for his 4th foul. #15 foul on FGCU. Joe Dooley's working these officials pretty hard, to the point where they're starting to glare back at him. Needs to be careful.
Dave, with Endor, you got to stay back. Make him beat you with jump shots.
Endor crashes into Norelia and gets it to go. Endor feeling it. He's got 8 of the Bobcats' 16 second half points. Comer, look at this, on a bad ankle, but unable to finish. And now his man Willis going to take it right at him. That's a smart play, but it was knocked away by Moeller. Here's Green Jr. in transition.
Oh, slow down, big guy.
Well, we had the perfect angle to see it. He knew he had a 2-on-1, but when he looked over, the other guy was Comer, and you could almost see it in Green's face. Well, I don't want to pass it to him because he's hurt. And then in the process, he took his eye off the ball. FGCU led by 25 at the break. Ryan Taylor for Endor. And Green with the hand check, and that's the 6th team foul.
If the guy is 12 feet from the basket and dribbling the ball, don't put your hands on him.
2nd on Green. So a little adversity for the first time tonight for FGCU. Willis off the curl. And Ohio, which was stone cold in the first half, 16%, 5 for 31. And here in the second half, They are hitting on all cylinders. Norelia can't get it to go, but he gets it back, only to lose it. Comer to Thompson. Moeller down low. Over Montpremier, can't get it to go. Terrell will track it down, only to lose it out of bounds. And a timeout on the floor. The Bobcats have outscored the Eagles 18-7 to start the second half. And all of a sudden, a 25-point game is getting pretty interesting. Against Northern Kentucky, right here on ESPN3. Comer hobbling in obvious pain through gritted teeth, trying to play through it. Any of us who have played sports know that a sprained ankle is painful. It's annoying.
And it's worse the next day.
Absolutely. Fortunately for the Eagles, they're not going to play again until Monday in the Gulf Coast Showcase. But they'll play 3 games in about 48 hours, so we'll see how Comer's ankle will respond. But first things first, the 25-point halftime lead cut to 14. Mike Laster with the step back, short, ball loose. Oh, is that the 4th on Endor?
That is the 4th on Endor.
Oh, wow. Of all the things that have been called tonight,
I mean, that's
a scramble on a rebound, and it's on Maurice Endor. Let's see, is the contact obvious? Number 5 of Ohio.
Well, David, we live here in Southwest Florida, but that should be a play on.
Especially with what has been a play on tonight. And another foul on Antonio Campbell. That was legit. He grabbed Moeller as Eric was trying to get position. But Joe Dooley and the Eagles staff pointed out to the officials during that break, you know, fouls are 6-2. Just to let you know. Thompson has it knocked away and stolen by Stevie Taylor. And Taylor makes it a 12-point game. It was 25 points at the half, and in 9 minutes, they've cut it by more than half. Taylor with 7. And Campbell and Moeller going at it again. And Campbell going to be called for another foul.
Well, the thing Campbell has to understand is you can't have that constant contact reaching around in the hole. They're going to call it every time.
2 on Antonio Campbell. It's the 15th foul on the Bobcats. And Norelia gets loose.
Technical
Brett
foul.
Comer was just called for a technical foul. I believe he was trying to tell the official about a foul that had occurred, and the officials have been getting yapped at by both sides, by both coaching staffs, by some of the players, and I think that was a case of one of the officials saying, you know what, enough's enough. Let's go back to playing basketball. So Brett Comer called for the technical foul. And so it will send Alvarez Bean Willis, who was an 88% free throw shooter throughout his career.
Well, Brett's got to be smarter than that.
Well, he was just motioning to the official like, hey, he hit him on the arm. He hit him on the arm. And I think, officials are human, and they're tired of getting yelled at by everybody. And I think the gentleman
Now there's a technical on Dooley.
And now Joe Dooley gets teed up. Well, this is getting very interesting now. And the other thing is that those 2 technicals count as team fouls, and that's 18 fouls on FGCU.
Well, Joe needs, no, they both got to calm down here because you don't want this to become a foul shooting contest.
it was a different official who called the technical foul. He had warned Coach Dooley a couple minutes ago, and I made note of it. Hey, enough. So Willis hits all 4 technical free throws, staring right into the student section.
Well, when you're 88%, you're...
And so the Bobcats have cut a 25-point deficit to 10. Joe Dooley urging the crowd to get on its feet. And the officials telling the FGCU bench to sit down. And that only further incites this crowd. I believe they're going to get a bench warning. This is the most intense we've seen a game become between FGCU and the officials, with the crowd getting into it in quite some time.
Saul sort of liking this.
Absolutely. And now the student section only further antagonizing the officials with their chants. We'll see where this goes from here. This was a sleeper of a game at the half, but not anymore. Missed 3 by Taylor. Here comes Jones, Comer, Thompson for 3. Oh, the place would have exploded. Jones with the rebound and a foul underneath on the Bobcats.
See, you got to put it up and go get it now. Forget all the other stuff. Just get on the boards or put the ball in the hole.
First foul on Stevie Taylor, 16 foul. Remember, Endor on the bench. The Bobcats have been able to continue this run with their best player on the bench with 4 fouls. Jones pass knocked out of bounds. Willis better watch it. Willis better watch it. He's very demonstrative, disagreeing with that call, and the officials are clearly in no mood. 10-point FGCU lead. Colby and Thompson play catch. Thompson's got a game-high 23. 15 seconds to shoot. Jones with the drive, puts it up off the glass. First bucket of the second half for Jamel Jones, and much needed for the Eagles as we're halfway in the second half, and we've got a ball game.
If their shot blocker's not in there, Jones can take this game over by going to the hole, David.
Homer still out there. Thompson with the steal, and he's grabbed. That could be an intentional. And in fact, the official's going to come over and ask him, is that an intentional? Yes, it is. It would have been a breakaway for Thompson. The officials confer, and they rule a breakaway. Watch Thompson with the steal, and then the defender. Oh, we just missed it. If we could go back, Thompson with the steal, and the defender, just for a moment, takes both his hands and grabs Thompson around the hips. Just for a moment, the way a cornerback, when beaten, will grab a receiver just for that moment. Watch. Does Taylor grab him around the waist with the left hand? He did right there. The trailing official came over to say, hey, that would have been a breakaway. And they said, yes, it would have been.
Well, the Eagles are now on the 1-and-1. 9:44 to go, David.
17th foul. Bernard Thompson only hit 1 of 2. So it's a 13-point lead in the basketball. Homer, fake behind his back, got caught in the air and threw it away. And now here comes Willis. Come on, Premier, and he's fouled. And that's the 4th on Moeller.
Yeah, but see, you can't let him make a layup, David. Beat me on the free throw line.
Morant and Moeller have 4 fouls for the Eagles. Wadley Montpellier, not a good free throw shooter. Another reason to commit that foul, Jay Webb. Just a 46% free throw shooter in his career. And shooting into the rowdy student section. And that's what the Bobcats will be staring at, trying to make their free throws down the stretch, and Montpremier misses them both. Thompson fakes a three. Down low to Norelia. Thompson in the lane. Bucket in the foul!
Hey, when the game's on the line, find the man and let him do his thing.
26 and counting for Bernard Thompson. Loves to go to his left, and he can stop, pump fake, and just a slight lean to draw the contact. Bernard's career high is 32. Unofficially, we have him with 27 points. The Bobcats had cut it to 10 momentarily. It's now 16. And Endor is back in with his 4 fouls. Taylor gives it to Willis. In the lane, shot up off the glass and in. Nice play by Mike Laster. First bucket of the second half. 14-point game with 8:44 to go. Homer, gamely giving it a go. Thompson. Oh.
When you're feeling it, David.
So that's what the zone looks and feels like, huh?
Oh, my Lord.
Down low. Campbell. Over Hicks. Rebound Nate. And look at how much Comer is hobbling. And you could see the pain in his face. But even at about 50%, he's their best option at the point, and now a foul called on Ryan Taylor. And that takes us to a media timeout. Less than 8 minutes to go. The Bobcats have made their run, and the Eagles hold them off. Bernard Thompson is doing it single-handedly. Cats came storming out of the locker room, and for one moment in time cut it to as low as 10. But Jay Webb might be the best offensive performance in FGCU history before the night's over.
Well, as you pointed out, I love the fact you're a stat geek. Here we are. Bernard Thompson has scored 11 of the Eagles' 17 points.
In the second half.
In the second half. And here's the beauty, where last year the Eagles didn't have depth. They now have enough depth. They can counter foul trouble on their wings.
Jones missing the front end of a 1-and-1. Both teams with 19 fouls. So every foul the rest of the way will be a 2-shot foul. Endor with 4 fouls. Thompson reaches in. Endor forces it over, gets it back, gets Hicks up in the air. Nobody's fouled. Between Norelia and Hicks, and Norelia is called for the foul. And it's his third. So Endor and Montpremier have managed to get 4 fouls on Moeller, 4 fouls on Moran, now 3 fouls on Norelia. Endor, a career 73% free throw shooter. He's now 5 of 7 from the line tonight. Unofficially, we've got him with 14 points. 5 rebounds. I'll tell you what, they only have him for 2 blocks. Seems like he's got at least double that. Thompson in the lane. Bernard will go to the line and try to add to his 29-point night. Bernard struggled from the free throw line last year for him.
Yes.
He was a 70+% free throw shooter his first 2 years, shot only 60. I'm sorry, he shot 79% last year. He's shooting 63% this year from the line. 2 for 3 tonight. Still plenty of time for the Bobcats to make another run. Brett Comer still out on the floor, bad ankle and all. 30 points for the senior in Conyers, Georgia. Endor. Hicks challenges him. And no foul is called. And Saul Phillips can't believe that one, and I don't blame him.
Boy, I think the Eagles got a break on that one.
FGCU basketball. They put it in Thompson's hands and basically let him dictate how the possessions are going to go. Jones with the strong drive. He can't finish. Endor with a great rebound in traffic, and he's fouled. And remember, every foul results in free throws the rest of the way. Jones picks up the foul. 10th team foul. Both teams in the double bonus. And this is the best case scenario for the Bobcats, able to cut the lead without the clock running. And remember, hobbling. The Bobcats can make this game tighter and tighter. They can pick up the defensive pressure. And the Eagles' premier ball handler looks to be less than 50% right now. That's 4 in a row from the line for Endor. Saul Phillips urging his Bobcats to get a stop. And if they do, this one will get real interesting. Thompson, step back. Can't get it to go. Another rebound for Endor.
The Eagles have got to get a defensive stop here, David.
Deep three from Willis off the mark. Comer with the rebound. Ahead to Thompson. Bernard lost it. FGCU basketball when play resumes. 6:33 to go. Eagles leading by 13. I thought the officials ruled that's FGCU ball. And I thought Bernard had lost it out of bounds. Must have been knocked out. Well, Jay Webb, right now FGCU kind of standing around and up. There it is. Couldn't see Bernard go behind his back from our position. Went off Ryan Taylor out of bounds. But Jay Webb, right now there's a lot of standing around by the other guys on the floor watching Bernard do his thing.
What has to happen is you've got to run your offense. Thompson's obviously the man that's been making things happen. But other people have got to say if they get shots, they got to take them. But even more important, you got to make them.
Comer inbounds to Thompson. Officials let a little contact go there. Comer down low to Norelia. Norelia takes his time with the left hand and gets it to go.
See, go inside, make Endor foul, and let you make the basket.
Well, and Endor can't foul or he'll foul out. As we near 6 minutes to go. Campbell over Hicks. So Norelia and Campbell trade baskets down low. The Eagles will trade baskets the rest of the way. Veteran group out here for FGCU. Comer, Thompson, Jones, all seniors. Hicks is senior. Comer can't get the running one-hander to go. He's slow to get back on defense. So an edge here for the Bobcats. But Endor throws it away, and Comer with the steal. Down court to Thompson. Bernard! Unofficially matching his career high of 32. Eagles back up by 15.
Well, they still need defensive stops because this game is not over.
Well, the Bobcats have not hit many from downtown, and you figure they're going to need some threes to get back in it.
And right on cue.
The Bobcats before that three were unofficially 1 for 17 from beyond the arc. Figure they're going to need about 3 or 4 more of those. 4:45 to go. 12-point game and foul.
Yeah, that's Endor's fifth. That's Endor's fifth.
4:41 to go. And Maurice Endor fouls out. Unofficially 16 points.
Endor he better be careful. There was language we couldn't put on the air there.
Well, I'm sure he's very unhappy still about that fourth foul. With the way this game's been played.
That's right.
But 4:41 to go. Hope is certainly not lost for Ohio.
Well, Montpierre has shown his ability to go to the hole and rebound.
Well, you figure with both teams in the double bonus, and we're going to see a lot of free throws the rest of the way. And the Eagles put the Bobcats away from the line.
People should cancel their 9:15 dinner reservations, David.
Jay Webb, I've been telling you for years, you shouldn't even make them.
Shouldn't even make them, folks.
And Morelia can't get the second one to go, and the rebound goes off Campbell out of bounds. And at this point, the Eagles shouldn't be in any hurry to shoot.
No.
Clock is their friend. They should just work it around the perimeter unless there's a dunk available. Morelia back to Comer. They look down low. Nothing quickly available. Jones is the seized part. He quickly throws up a shot, ill-advised, and here comes Willis the other way. Willis with Comer guarding him. Surprised he didn't take him off the dribble. Laster, and he traveled.
That was AAA there. That was a travel.
Well, Willis needed to recognize when he had the ball and he had Comer guarding him that Comer's got a bad wheel.
Right.
Got to take it out of him. Because the likelihood is Brett would have fouled him or let him go.
Yeah.
Eagles by 13 with the basketball. Down low, Morant. Bucket of the foul!
Now that is an athletic move.
Able to withstand the foul and strong enough to get it up and in with the harm.
If I may quote a very noted sportscaster, little hoop and some harm.
Well, Morant was bigger than both guys who tried to guard him on that play as Laster picked up his third foul. And so the Eagles, who were getting hurt inside by Endor and Montpremier, now with Endor getting first in foul trouble and then fouling out, FGCU's opened it back up to a 16-point lead. Time running out now for the Bobcats. Campbell drives by Norelia, who gets a piece of it. I'm a little surprised Ohio keeps going inside, thinking they need some threes. Jones, meanwhile, has it knocked away from behind, but a foul call.
Well, see, that's why the big man goes to the hole. Whoa, easy.
Foul on Ryan Taylor. Eagles have withstood a big charge by the Bobcats. They cut the 25-point lead to 10, but now FGCU with some cushion. Why are we showing a guy who has yet to score a point tonight? Because he's hobbling the way he is. And he's played through it.
Well, Brett he's a tough hombre, and he and Thompson, probably one of the top ever to play mid-major basketball as a backcourt duo.
Comer became the all-time leader in assists in ASUN history tonight. That free throw gets Jones in double figures. But Comer tweaked his ankle early in the game and then did more than that in the opening minute of the second half and needed to be helped off the floor by a teammate. And with him off the floor, Ohio made a big run. 25-point Eagle lead became 10. Nice shot by Bean Willis.
Another all-name team.
Big second half, 11 in the second half, unofficially 14 in the game.
Yeah, that's not going to early Nealak there.
In the lane, Morant, jump hook, uses glass. You see Comer hit him in stride. Third straight game for Comer with double-digit assists to start the year. Laster puts it up, no, and Morant with the rebound. Mentioned Eagles with a lot of experience on the floor. Comer, Thompson, Jones, all seniors. Morant rejected by Montpriere. They went back to it a second time, and Wadley said, no, not again. Jamel Jones checks out. Brian Green Jr. to get a second ball handler on the floor. But Comer came back into the game with about 13 minutes to go, and the Eagles very wobbly. Down low, Norelia has it rejected from behind, but a foul on Laster.
David, here you have two schools. Ohio University, FGCU, 50th year. 50 years ago, we integrated desegregated schools in America. So here you have two schools, both who have African-American presidents. Roderick McDavis up at Ohio U, and then President Bradshaw here. I don't know what their bet was, but if it's food, we should probably get part of that anyway.
Well, Brett Comer checks out, and many here in attendance give him a standing ovation. He helped settle the Eagles down. Told everybody to give the ball to Bernard Thompson and get out of the way. Bernard carried the show, matching the career high with 32 so far tonight, which also ties the Division I scoring record in FGCU history. I think Ryan Hopkins had more than that when the Eagles were D2.
He had that night of 11 threes or something.
I think it was 35 or 37 points. But Bernard Thompson matching his career high and the all-time Division I scoring mark in a game for the Eagles tonight. Shot clock down to 5. Thompson in the lane. There's the record.
34.
And the final score will not indicate just how intense, entertaining, and for a while, competitive the second half was.
And very heated with some technicals.
Green reaches in, knocks it away. Foul on Norelia.
Is that his fifth, I believe?
Number 4.
Yes.
Well, I called that on Norelia. It was on Morant, and that is his fifth. So Morant fouls out. As we have a minute 12 to go, and the Eagles will start to empty their bench. Mike Laster will go to the line, shoot 2. Bernard Thompson remains on the floor, but for how much longer? And now he comes out. 34 points tonight. So his best friend and backcourt mate, Brett Comer, becomes the all-time leader in assists in ASUN history. And Thompson sets a single-game Division I scoring record for himself and in Eagles history, as we're under a minute to play. Terrell will drive. The officials will let it play. Hovey down low. Can't score his first college bucket. In transition, Willis has it knocked away. Drives into the lane, hooping some harm. Got him for 13 in the second half and 16 for the game. Marcus Blake and Nick Keller will check into the game with 43 seconds to go. And now the crowd being informed that Thompson set a new Division I scoring record in FGCU history with 34. So much like the ball player who takes a step out of the dugout for a curtain call. And now Willis, after completing the three-point play, he will check out. Saul Phillips' crew cut a 25-point deficit to 10. They couldn't get it to single digits. And the Eagles responded to the two technical fouls, one against Comer, one against Dooley, and went on a spurt in the next couple of minutes. And they were able to keep Ohio at bay from there.
Well, people are going to see the score. They're going to think blowout city, but not really.
Knocked away and stolen by Ryan Taylor. Been a rough night for Taylor. 21 points in his college debut. Just 4 points tonight, but he's playing hard to the end. And his coaches will recognize that. Shot clock turned off. Shun and TJ Allen hanging out near midcourt.
He's going to dribble it out.
Saul Phillips and Joe Dooley will shake hands at midcourt. These two teams will play next year in Athens, Ohio. And the Bobcats will be trying to advance. And Eagles win 79-62. FGCU improving to 3-0 on the season. First 3-0 start in 9 seasons. The Bobcats lose their first game of the season and first game of the Saul Phillips